Welcome. This presentation will guide you through the Evidence Initiative and its associated goals. The Evidence Initiative itself is to gather and use high-quality evidence to improve the effectiveness of systems-level plant nutrition interventions, and it contains 6 goals. The first goal is to catalog existing nutrient recommendations. What's already being recommended? This is a key question. There are universities, development organization, cooperative extension. All of these entities may be recommending something to farmers in terms of nutrient management. What are they? We want to gather this type of information together in one spot so we can start comparing, contrasting, learning what's already there, maybe finding what's missing. So we see this as a valuable first step in launching future research efforts. As we gather more and more data and more of these publications, we hope that we eventually become a resource not only for ourselves, but for our partners or for anyone else who's interested in what's currently being recommended in any given country in Africa. The second goal is to generate high quality reviews. There is so much information that already exists that there's a real need to do some synthesis before we do a lot more that's new. And so we want to make sure that we're doing the highest quality reviews possible. And there's been a lot of new techniques in the last 20 years that medicine has relied on. And we are learning to use those techniques and learning how to conduct those more innovative, higher quality reviews than we've typically done in the past in our discipline. So we see the outcome as eventually regularly producing these high quality reviews in the peer-reviewed literature, but also producing companion pieces that are readily digestible by the public. Plain language summaries, just a few sentences, just something that is ready to use in the field. The third goal is to archive our data. We have a lot of legacy data, and we're also collecting new data. We want to make sure that we are streamlining the process from data collection to data storage to data synthesis and analysis. And we can do that by making sure that the data we collect, we transform into fair data sets that are findable, accessible, interoperable, and reusable. And a key part of this is you not only produce, say, a spreadsheet that you publish in a repository, but you describe what is in each column, and you describe it well, so that someone who wasn't part of your study can say, oh, I see what's in that column. Oh, I see the units. I see how that was measured. Now I know more about that particular column of data, and now I can use it properly. So the outcome here is to regularly be producing these and to create a system where our data are never spend very long outside of a repository, so that they're well preserved for our use and for future use. The fourth goal is to develop a quality management system. Traditionally, we have developed protocols for specific experiments, or we have done it within an institution, or we have done it for a country. But we haven't come up with protocols that are universally deployed among many different countries within Africa. And so we see this as really critical to help us start to work at larger scales and to start looking at greater patterns, both spatially and temporally. So we can start to see the effects of climate, or we can start to see the effects of soil health, or some of these bigger picture things that require large data sets that are all using a common protocol and common data. So the outcome here is to regularly use common experimental protocols across all of our experiments, that we have control measures in place, and that we're doing periodic checks to make sure that that quality is being met. The fifth goal is to create powerful experimental designs. Whenever you conduct an experiment and you look at the results, you may sometimes find no significant differences. And the question that arises is, well, were the treatments themselves not capable of producing very many differences? Were they too similar to begin with? Or was your experimental design not powerful enough to detect the differences that those treatments really produced. So we want to make sure that our designs are powerful enough so that there's no question that when we see a significant difference or we don't see a significant difference, there's no question that it's our experimental design that's the problem, that we have confidence then in the results that we get. So the outcome here is to make sure we're using powerful experimental designs, that we are thinking about the statistical analysis before we put out a design, and that analysis that will be done informs the design, and that after we have done that analysis, that we are creating effective ways of communicating our results, either through impactful visualizations or through good storytelling that's accurate and compelling. The last goal is to propose and test new approaches. We have many different types of ways to innovate. We can innovate with our designs. We can innovate with our models. We can innovate with farmer participation. So we really see ourselves as kind of a scientific crop nutrition innovation link in the overall supply chain. And so whatever we produce, we acknowledge that we're part of this greater chain and that we really value our partners upstream and downstream in that chain. And so our goal is to help businesses use scientific principles to develop good recommendations or good tools that they can build their businesses upon. And because they are scientific and well-founded, those businesses can be lasting businesses. And that, we hope, will grow local economies. So we really see ourselves as a link in the supply chain that helps take science and build sustainable systems that are economically viable in the future. So those are our 6 operational goals. Thank you so much for your time.